We have a single entry here to start off our dairy showmanship. Young man does a nice job out here, brings that steer out, presents them nicely. Again, gets them set up right. Again, just does a really nice job. Certainly could stand some more competition. Let's give him a nice round of applause.
All right, so we are going to go ahead and do junior showmanship for dairy steers because we have another kid and another show. So this is junior dairy steer showmanship. There's 4 entries.
We can give these kids a nice round of applause here as well. Did a nice job showing these cattle out here. Young man with the red calf I'm going to start with. Again, I think just presents that steer a little bit better, gets the cattle set up, gets himself positioned right. Always has a nice look, profile look when he has that calf set, does a really nice job. I'm going to follow up with the young man in the red and white steer coming next. We can lead that one out. And again, it does a nice job setting that steer up. Maybe not quite as fast as the young man that wins the class. The two young ladies here that round off the class, again, do a nice job. I just like to see them set their steer just a little bit faster. But again, nice job all the way through. Let's give them a nice round of applause. Let's give this young man a nice round of applause. A novice showman, so this is the second time he's showing this steer. He said he showed him at this county fair too, but the first time he's ever shown. Again, does a nice job, very relaxed and calm. Got that steer set up good. Again, nice job. Let's give him a nice round of applause. If you would, let's give our intermediates a nice round of applause. Nice job. Again, it comes down to it. I'm going to leave them as they're lined up. The young lady out in front is going to win this division. Again, does a nice job getting that steer set up. Has them calm and collected there. The young man with the butterscotch calf, again, coming second. Again, I guess I'd like to see his stance out in front of that animal just a little bit more, but again, does a nice job getting that steer set, getting them calm and relaxed. Again, the young lady does a nice job that rounds off the class, but again, sometimes the cattle just don't want to cooperate, and that's just luck of the draw, but she does a nice job and keeps working at it. So again, let's give all three of these another nice round of applause.
Okay, so now we are going to do our champion and reserve champion dairy steer fitting and showing. So we need the intermediate, senior, junior, and novice first place winners in the ring, and then we need our second places ringside.
Again, we didn't see a lot of numbers in the showmanship here for the dairy show, but again, I think 4 very good showmen out here. Let's give them a nice round of applause. There's one out here that just kind of sticks out to me and doesn't have to do much with moving that animal, gets them set up just with the halter and gets it on the stand, and a nice profile for me to analyze and view that animal with. I think just does a really good job. Then it gets a little closer for reserve for me. But again, I'll go out and congratulate your champion, and then I'll pick you a reserve. So again, if you would, give these kids a nice round of applause. So we did this earlier in the day in the beef show. They brought the winner from last year back, and she gets to compete out here for champion again to the winner of this year. And again, it's nice to recognize those kids that did well last year. And again, like I said earlier, every judge is different on little things that they look for and what they want in a showman. Again, both of these do an excellent job. For me, I'm going to stay with the young man with the red and white one for champion here. Let's congratulate him, and let's give the lady a nice round of applause for last year as well. She does a nice job. Congratulations.
All right, congratulations to our grand champion showman, Andrew Kimball, and reserve champion was Mason Gentry, and also the champion challenge winner was Andrew Kimball. Now we're moving right along into our feeder class. The first class of feeder steers, the weight ranges from 466 to 501. There's 2 entries.
Your feeder show here again, 2 individuals. I'm going to go ahead and start with that red and white one. We'll bring that one out first. Again, I think a steer that's just got a little bit more rib shape, a little bit more depth. I think he's sounder at the ground when he gets out and moves. He's really square and true from hooks to pins, has a wide level hip to him. Again, I just think has a little bit, it's going to project to that weight, that market weight, a little bit faster than the other steer in the class. But again, a nice calf. The white steer, again, I like his moderation. He's a little bit bigger boned as you analyze him from his foot size up to his cannon. Again, a steer that just needs a little bit more dimension to him as well compared to that steer ahead of him. But again, 2 really nice feeder calves here.
Next in the ring, our feeder steers range from 635 pounds to 683 pounds, and there is 3 entries. Reminder that first place feeder steers need to remain ringside.
I'm going to leave these three as they came in the ring. The black and white steer that we start off with, again, really square and true up over his top. A steer, when you get on him, he is the heaviest muscled, widest topped, widest loined, carries that width out over that hip and down into that quarter. Now, what he gives up as far as shape and lower rib cage compared to the other two in the class, he all makes up for the overall muscle and mass that he has up high. He is a little bit truer and square from that ground up, especially in that angle to that shoulder, the way he conducts himself and travels around the ring underneath that foot and bone that he possesses. Again, I just think a really nice place to start. It gets really close between the next two. The blonde steer, I think, has a bigger advantage as far as being further along, carrying a little bit more finish and condition on him here. Again, he's not ready for that market, but he's getting to that stage. He is also truer and square up over his top as well compared to that speckled steer behind him. But again, I think a really good type of steer. I just like to change him through that throat and shoulder area compared to our class winner here. But again, I think a really good calf there in second. I like the overall length and extension that the speckled calf in third brings. Again, if you analyze this steer, he kind of gives up that bone and mass underneath. He's a little bit frailer from the ground up, the way he's made and designed through that cannon bone. Gets a little bit frailer up top, too. I just like to see a little bit more natural width and dimension up over his top and out through his hip. But again, three nice feeder steers for these exhibitors. Give them a nice round of applause.
Okay, this class of feeder steers is, the weight ranges are 708 to 730.
In this particular class, I'm going to go ahead and use this butterscotch steer to win this class. Again, when you analyze him, like we talked about earlier, he's just got more true dimension up over his top, over his loin, throughout his hip. He's bolder at the ground, bigger bone, stouter made, has a little bit more heart and chest to him, being a little bit, having more mass and everything to this calf combined together. The red steer that comes second, again, you admire the overall depth of body this one has and possesses. Maybe just a little bit frailer when you analyze him. Go ahead, we can take him out. When we analyze him, he gets a little bit frailer the way he's made and designed up over his top compared to our class winner. I'd like to stouten him up from the ground up, get him a little bit more bone and a little bit more muscle shape as you analyze him up over his top and down through his quarter.
All right, our last class of feeders, the weights ranges are from 839 to 851. And then after this, we will do our champion feeder steer.
Again, two nice feeders here to round off the class in this division. And again, the young ladies bring two nice high-quality calves here to the show. I'm going to stick with the way they came in. I'm going to use that speckled calf. I like his overall profile and his design. I like his structural integrity as you analyze him from the ground up. He's longer from hooks to pins and leveler and squarer out through that hooks and pins area compared to our second place steer. If you wanted to change this one, I'd certainly like to stouten him up from the ground. I'd like to have a bigger circumference of cannon as you analyze this one, a little bit bigger foot and bone, stouten him up just a touch. But again, his overall design and makeup, I think reads really true. The blonde cap that comes second, again, he is the stouter boned one. He's got the little more circumference of cannon. When you analyze him, he gives up some of that muscle shape and that design. He's not as wide based from behind as compared to our class winner. A steer, again, I'd like to make him truer from hooks to pins and square him up from hooks to pins out through that hip. But again, two really nice individuals here. Let's give them a nice round of applause.
Okay, so now we are going to do our champion feeder steer. So first in the ring we need Andrew. Next we need Madison, then Mason, and then Tegan. We bring all of our class winners back out in our feeder division, and again, you analyze these cattle and you're projecting them down the road on how they're going to feed and how they're going to mature out. And there's two out here that I think when you analyze them as far as structure, that's going to hold up when they get to that heavy market weight, and the muscle shape and dimension that they possess. You can just project that down the road that they're going to be high-yielding carcasses when they hang on the rail with a lot of muscle and loin-eye area as you analyze those cattle. For me, it comes down to the two in the middle. I think both these steers are really good from the ground up as far as bone structure and the way they're structurally made. Their angles read right in their shoulder to that hock and down to that pastern. You can see these cattle are going to hold up when they get that extra pounds on their frame and on their skeletal design. Again, I guess it comes down to just those two, and when you really analyze it, to me, the black and white steer is the one that I think down the road is going to be the better market steer as he finishes out and gets to that projected weight. Let's give her a nice round of applause. Congratulations. All right, congratulations to Madison Kingsley for our champion feeder steer. We are going to be moving right along into our dairy steer market classes. Oh, there's only 3 steers, so it'll be a short show.
Again, a single entry here to start off your market steer show. And again, a steer that's weighing 1069. Again, a little bit light as far as what market ready weight on this calf. You get your hands on him, and he's a little light there too. He doesn't quite get into that low choice grade. He's going to need a little bit more time on feed. But again, a steer that's made well, designed well, has enough shape and dimension of muscle as you analyze him up over his top through that last rib into his hip, and then carries that width and dimension down when you get behind him. When you get your hands on him, I'd like to see a little bit more cover there. I'd like to see a little bit more weight. But again, a really good steer here in progress. Again, another single entry here. Again, the young man brings us 1,125-pound steer. And again, a steer that surprised you, because when you get your hands on him, he does have enough cover over that rib. You grab down in that flank, and he's putting some deposit and some finish down in there. Again, a steer that, for his size, I guess I'd like to see a little bit more weight to him. But I commend the young man for feeding this steer good and getting him into a range where he's close to that market-ready stage. Again, for that weight, he gives up some of that muscle and dimension, which are going to add some pounds, and you put him on the scale. But again, a really well-fed steer here the young man brings us here today. Let's give him a nice round of applause. Again, another single entry, 1,300-pound steer here. Again, a steer that when you get your hands on him, again, he handles good over that rib and that last rib. A steer that's putting some finish and some cover down over that lower part of his rib cage and up over his pin bones. Again, a steer, when you analyze him, I'd like to change him just a touch. He gets a little bit deeper through that chest, a little bit lighter in that flank. I'd like to change that about him, get a little bit more power when you get behind him. But again, I like a steer that's in the right weight range and the nice, as far as getting the hands on him to have enough finish to go the rest of the way.
Next, we're going to pick our grand champion and reserve champion dairy steer for the Maryland State Fair. So we need all first place winners in the ring. While our judge is choosing our champion winner, I'm going to announce the rate of gain champion, which was Jaden Odell, whose steer gained 3.7 pounds, 3.07 pounds a day.
We have 3 different steers, and all 3 of these are different in their overall type and kind. And again, they're the only 3 market steers we had. A lot of differences from one end to the other. The brown Swiss-looking calf that starts off the class, again, we like his overall bone structure and the levelness and his design. I like the structural integrity that he has through his shoulder, a steer that's really going to be able to hold up. But then when you get up on top of him, he does give up some muscle up over his top. He does give up the overall finish and handling that we want when we get our hands on him. I'd like to see a little bit more cover there to get him in the market-ready stage. So he's not quite there yet. He needs a little bit more time on feed to get enough finish there to get him in that low-choice grade. But again, I think a really high-quality calf, just not his day isn't today. The red and white steer, again, I like the overall moderation in this calf. That helps this calf a little bit as far as getting into that finish range. He's teetering right on that border of grading low choice. A steer that maybe doesn't have quite as much muscle compared to the steers on either side of him. But again, the advantage of him being moderate, he's going to finish out faster at a lighter weight. I'd still like to see a little bit more pounds on this calf when you get him on the scale. Get a little bit more red meat, a little bit more red product, especially when we take him to the rail. But again, a really good handling steer, really well-designed steer there as well. The big black and white steer, this is the steer that has the most finish, has the most cover, gets into that low choice grade, but he gives up the structure compared to those other 2 steers. You want to change the angle of that shoulder, like I said earlier. I'd like to take some of that depth that he has in the first 1/3 of his body and take it out to the last 1/3, power him up as far as overall muscle and mass. So it's a bit of a dilemma between these steers that are out here on the give and take and what you want to do. But we got to use a steer that's going to get in that low choice grade and is going to have that quality carcass when he gets on the rail. And that's going to be your black and white steer here out of the last class. Congratulations. I'm going to follow up with the red and white one for reserve. Congratulations to you. Let's give him a nice round of applause.
is. Good evening, everybody. The Pretty Animal Contest will start at 7:15. Again, the Pretty Animal Contest will start at 7:15. If you guys have registered to be part of the Pretty Animal Contest and you haven't come to check in yet, please come to the left side of the stage in the Cow Palace. Again, if you have not come to check in with us, please come to the left side of the stage at the Cow Palace.
Attention in the barns, attention in the barns. Beef exhibitors, tie-outs is not available till 8 p.m. You cannot tie out your animals till after 8 p.m. Thank you. 8 p.m. for tie-outs.
Last call for check-in for the costume animal parade. Last call. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our second costume animal parade. So for our exhibitors in the ring, here's how tonight is going to go for everyone. So you're going to walk into the ring. I will read your bio. You'll be judged, and then once you're done walking in the ring, please stand at the edge of the ring facing the wall that goes out to the cattle area. So we're switching up our order a little bit tonight. We're going to start with our livestock division. So Preston is. Okay. So we're going to start with Mr. Preston Clark. It's a beautiful sunny day here at the Maryland State Fair Beach. My name is Preston Clark. I am 12 years old from Frederick County. I have brought my friend Hope here to the beach to have some fun in the sun. We are ready to hit the waves in Ocean City. There is nothing better than the beach, Old Bay, and some sand castles. My sheep friends and I hang out at the beach all the time. Hope has on her SPF 50 wool and her watermelon bathing suit. She will not get any tan lines. We hope to see you all at the beach this year. Hang 10, dude. Next in the ring, we have Ella Barczyk. What's all the buzz about? Hi, my name is Ella B., a member at the Barn Stompers 4-H Club in Cecil County, and this is my Sherry Sunflower, my 5-month-old dairy goat, and we are here to tell you what all the buzz is about at 4-H. 4-H is a youth program for kids like us that are ages 5 to 18. In 4-H, I carry many different projects, from animals to plants to food and crafts to speaking and much, much more. In 4-H, you have friends at club meetings, workshops, social activities, camps, and fair. As a 4-H member, you learn to be trustworthy, be respectful, be responsible, be fair, be caring, and be a good citizen. It is fun to watch fellow members bloom in 4-H. 4-H helps to brighten every day so that you can be sunny and blossom as individuals. Thank you, Ella Bartek. All right, this is our livestock division. Just so exhibitors know, you can put your animals away, but make sure if you receive first prize, you hang out over here in your costume, and if you can, with your animal. We also ask that all our exhibitors at the end of the show meet back here so we can get some pictures and interviews at the backdrop. All right, while our judges deliberate on this class, I have some bios for all three of them. So our first is Jason Siegel. This is Jason Siegel. He grew up in 4-H showing livestock and exhibits. He is a proud supporter of agricultural education. Cataline Brooks has been an active member in the horse community since an early age and currently operates River Ridge LLC in Spring Valley. Sue Bullock. Sue has served in 4-H as a volunteer for more than 25 years and presently serves on the Maryland 4-H Foundation. She has taught for 39 years in Howard County and currently owns and celebrates awards and creates personalized gifts and awards. All right, can we give it up for our judges tonight? All right, so we have our placement from the judges. In second place, we have Preston Clark, and in first place, we have Ella Barczyk. All right, our next category in the ring is going to be other. So can we please have Leah to the ring, please?